Welcome to week 67 of Cougs and Coaches. I am Jess, here with Mary. We had a bit of a short show last week, but there wasn't much news. We have lots of news this week.
Yes, the big news we were expecting finally came down about the new hire for the basketball coach. We will get into that, but of course we're going to start with our notable quotable, which ties into our new coach. You will see how. This quote is from Morgan Wooten. It says, "The big thing is to make a winning effort."
That is the big thing. Effort, hey, that'll get you there sometimes.
So why did we pick Morgan Wooten? I mean, we'll get more into it, but he coached Heath Schroyer, who is our new assistant coach.
Hooray.
Hooray.
Could not ask for a better
If you watched us when we were talking with Robbie, that's who all three of us said was our ideal candidate.
I think we all thought that was probably a long shot, though.
We did. That was like our dream candidate. So let's get started. We have a few selections of just tweets that we've seen about him, and then we kind of compiled some, some of our fun facts that we do in these Cougs and Coaches segment that hopefully you haven't heard yet. So what's the first one?
First one, Tim Lacombe tweeted out yesterday, "Welcome Heath Schroyer to Provo, first day on the job." By the way, if you're not following him, it's at H Schroyer on Twitter.
Next, I just wanted to hear from some people who actually had encounters with him when he was on campus, because obviously neither of us did. So this first one is from Sean Howard, who is at Sean Howard 1985, who said that he remembers Schroyer from when he went to a basketball camp as a teenager, so probably at BYU, and he said, "He is a yeller, feisty, and loves solid defense." I'm glad that he's back.
I mean, that's been the big concern, right, is defense. How do we get that turned around? What type of person do we need to bring in to do that? And one of the things we've learned through this process of, listening to interviews and everything is that he has changed. I mean, it has been long enough that he has grown and developed as a coach. And is, when you're a head coach too, I think you're different than you are when you're assistant, particularly when you're a young assistant. I mean, listening to Coach Cleveland, he talked about, how he was a younger guy, wasn't, he was single at the time. He's like, he basically just lived in the gym with the players. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different now that he's older, more experienced, all of that. But I think we'll probably still see some of that.
Yeah, some of that fire and feistiness. That quote kind of referred to back when he was much younger, when he was at BYU the first time. But I also found this quote in the Charlotte Observer that was actually from Coach Mark Gottfried, who was with Heath at NC State, obviously. And what Coach Gottfried said about him is, "Heath's programs have traditionally shown great improvement. He is a strong on-floor and in-game coach and is a proven recruiter at the highest level." So that's high praise from an ACC coach. It's a high praise from any coach, but like we were saying, he might not be as shrill, I think is the word that they were using on Sports Nation, as he was. But Coach Gottfried even last year said that he's a great on-floor and in-game coach. So he still got that spark, I think.
Which we really need.
Let's take a look at his coaching timeline.
Sure. So going back to 1996-97, he was at Fresno Community College as an assistant.
I think it is important to note that's the BYU connection. So he was there with Steve Cleveland, who then took him to his next job.
At BYU. So he was a BYU assistant coach from 97 to 01. And then he left to be a Wyoming assistant coach, and then Portland head state coach, and went from there back to Fresno State with Coach Cleveland. So that was 2005 to 07.
So that was the third time coaching with him, third out of three.
And then he was Wyoming's head coach for about 4 years, 2007 to 11. And then UNLV assistant coach, 2011 to 14. That was with Dave Rice. And then UT Martin head coach, 2014 to 16. And then last season, the NC State assistant head coach.
So let's get into some of the fun facts that we found about him through, internet sleuthing. So he is a 45-year-old who was born in Maryland. And as we pointed out, he was an assistant under Dave Rice at UNLV. So the BYU connection continues to unfold.
That's right.
So this brings us back to why our notable quotable was from Morgan Wooten. He played his high school ball at DeMatha Catholic High School under Morgan Wooten, who is just the paragon of coaching basketball. So what are some other things?
As we mentioned, Steve Cleveland has been the connection, and they're good friends. If you listen to Steve Cleveland's interviews over the past week, he talked about how when he was out there visiting him, he was out there visiting with Heath when he got the call that Mark had been fired, and they wanted him to be the interim head coach. And so we actually asked Coach Cleveland to stay on with him for another month to help him get it figured out. Ended up that Mark stayed for the rest of the season, so that didn't happen. But that's the kind of relationship they have where Heath is comfortable asking Coach Cleveland, hey, will you stay and help me out for 1 month?
So we've been referring to a bunch of these interviews. The two that we listened to were Heath Schroyer himself was on ESPN 960. I don't think he's been on BYU Sports Nation yet, but I'm sure now that he's in Provo, they'll get him over.
He's probably a little busy right now.
He might be. And then Steve Cleveland has also been on ESPN 960 and BYU Sports Nation, and he is going to be the guy around here that knows Heath best. Jess especially listened to some of those interviews. So Jess, what are some things that stood out to you about our brand new coach?
The things that stood out to me from that ESPN 960 article, and that was with Ben Criddle and I think Cameron Jensen talked to him, was that one of the things that Coach Schroyer prides himself is his relationship with the players. You know, he kind of talks about that you have to be genuine with them. You have to build up those relationships.
They'll see through your BS.
Yeah, and I loved his model where he said, you know, the kids, he's like, they know if you know and they know if you care.
I love that. That could have been our notable quotable.
It could have been, yeah. So I really like the philosophy. You know, he knows the kids are smart. They can tell if you actually care about them and if you know what you're doing, basically. So I like that. And then the other thing that I pulled out of that interview was they asked him about defense and what his philosophy is there and what he could bring to this team. And he talked a little bit about how you always talk about confidence on offense.
For sure.
You know, especially with shooters and everything. You have to have confidence, all of that. He said it's the same on defense. You have to have confidence on defense as well.
Huh. Novel idea.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that maybe our team is really lacking, that, you know, they've heard so long about how bad the defense is and all of that, they do really maybe need a shift in philosophy or an attitude change there, that you can have confidence on defense just like you do in your shooting.
He's going to bring a lot to the program, and like we said, the more we hear, the better of a fit he is. Just to note, he is not a member, which is fine, and honestly great for recruiting non-members. Which is the thing we want to do. It's just serendipity. That's the word I want to use. That he has that experience and that he now went out and got a lot more experience and is coming back.
And I think it'll be really great for Coach Rose to have Coach Schroyer to lean on a little bit, where they've both been head coaches before. They, you know, both coached under Coach Cleveland, and, you know, they have some shared experiences, but maybe also some different perspectives and everything. So I think it'll be good to have a more established coach on the staff that can help Coach Rose.
And that might be the biggest thing that me and Jess keep saying, that we have to pinch ourselves for, that we actually have someone who has head coaching experience on the staff, which is just what the doctor ordered. We're really excited about Coach Schroyer. Tweet us any fun facts you've learned about him, and make sure you do give him a follow at H Schroyer on Twitter, and we'll put that up. We'll link to the interviews that we spoke about, so get to know him before the season gets underway, which will hopefully be here before we know it.
Talk of the town this week. We actually have some things about football and basketball, so this is great. Let's start with some jersey numbers.
Yes, some official business, administrative business.
This is important stuff to us.
I know. Tim Lacombe tweeted, and he notified us that the new recruits who will be playing in the 2017 season, Rylan Bergenson and Jashir Hardnett, Rylan will wear number 1 and Jashir will wear number 0.
This is exciting.
Yes.
Dalton Nixon is finally home from his mission to Boston.
We've been talking about it for the past few weeks, but here is the evidence.
I know. So, nice little family pic at the airport and in the car. So, this is from Kevin Nixon. Tweeted out he's home. So
and we should point out, Kevin Nixon also tweeted literally later that night that they were back in the gym already.
And Dalton was dunking.
Yep. So.
Which is great. He looked pretty good. I mean, like,
he didn't look like he'd been gone for 2 years. Yeah,
he looked pretty good. I was impressed.
Speaking of Dalton, yesterday he sent out this hilarious tweet. It wasn't even a subtweet. He added the dude. He said, since TJ House 30 stole my jersey number of number 30 while I was on my mission, I'll be wearing number 33 next season at BYU. So, little jersey. Slight change there.
Little drama on the basketball team
Throwing
already.
Some shade.
I know. That's pretty funny. But yeah, sorry, I think the only reason TJ is that number because someone else has his number.
Yeah, it's
Elijah.
true. So
Elijah have number 3?
Yep, Elijah is number 3. So there's just a lot of thievery going on.
So really, Dalton, blame Elijah.
But just to be clear, Rylan number 1, Jashir 0, and Dalton 33.
So this is new stuff. We love this kind of thing.
We do.
We're excited about this.
This is like our type of segment.
Seriously. Elijah Bryant has started vlogging.
Vlogging. It's kind of what we do. We vlog. This is vlogging.
Okay, can I just say...
Sounds like clogging.
Where is the vlog of the actual basketball team in your vlog?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know you're at home right now or whatever, but like when you get back to Provo...
I know. I'm really hoping he'll stick with it through the season because that's going to be some good stuff.
So good.
This one was fun though. Me and Jess both watched it. He went to his little brother Kai's field day. Very cute. Lots of stuff with his mom. It's just fun to see what Elijah's up to. We hope that those continue, but make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel and check that out. We'll link to it.
Vlog.
I know.
So many ideas, Elijah. Let us run your show.
And come on your show and come on our show and talk about your vlog.
Yeah. Promotion.
To our millions of viewers.
Okay. I know Mary was happy about this one.
Mother's Day.
We got an Instagram post from Zach Celius on Mother's Day.
Just endlessly happy that he's back.
Yeah, and I actually really loved his caption. He said, "Happy Mother's Day to the best mom in the world. Because of how amazing she is, I have 2 sisters who are just as amazing mothers." I thought that was really sweet. He really cares about his sisters a lot too.
Zach wished his mom a happy Mother's Day. We didn't see as many Mother's Day posts as I feel like we did last year. So
Tanner.
Boys, you're slacking. But Zach got his, and then Eric also did one. Dedicated to his cute mom Sue and his wife Gabby, and said that they enjoyed a Mother's Day lunch together at Cubby's. Looks like
that is.
Yeah, so that's very sweet. And also, speaking of Eric, we have to mention the combine was this past week.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
We don't have anything like too concrete to say. We don't really know anything
pretty decent
other than what everyone else has said.
He still has some team workouts coming up.
Yep.
So
hopefully that'll be good. He didn't pull a Frank Jackson and hire an agent after the combine, so it probably didn't go that well for him. But he feels like, I did listen to some interviews with him, he feels like he showed off what he had. He feels like he played really physical, so we'll see.
He's got about 10 days.
I'm not ever going to stop hoping that the feedback he's getting is go back to college.
I have it circled on my calendar.
Last thing from basketball talk of the town.
We got a picture from Nick Emery that is him and his wife. It looks like TJ and his wife in New York, from what we can tell. We know TJ and his wife went there for a trip, and I'm guessing Nick and his wife were there before they flew to Germany.
They flew to Germany, so they were there at the same time, and they were there at the same time as the football team. So thanks for the invite, guys, to New York. We missed it.
We also saw last week that Nick and Zach were hanging out again.
Yeah, they went shooting together.
They're good buddies. Okay, now happy news.
This is the best. So, you know, here at Cougs and Coaches, we love our BYU power couples. We need to do a BYU power couple power ranking segment. That's on our list of segments that we need to do.
This one is like...
This might crack the top 5. But
for sure.
Butch Powell and Kalani Purcell, finally, he put a ring on it. So he said in his tweet, which he never tweets, coming soon to a temple near you.
My friend Amanda Hadley posted on Mother's Day some things that she was doing that day, and one of them involved playing cornhole with Tanner Mangum.
Tanner Mangum spent Mother's Day with them,
Matt Hadley. So, of course,
Matt
they're always together.
Of course, Matt Hadley. He's my best friend. I'll never stop saying it.
Yeah, I know. So, apparently Tanner almost gave Amanda a black eye, so that's not good.
It's a cool shot, though.
Yeah.
Cornhole in flight. Another piece of football news that we have is that they have released the official game day shirts for 2017. So that's exciting. Well, is it exciting? People are not that excited. It's so funny. And I don't know if this is just BYU fans, but I feel like a lot of people's first instinct is to just pick stuff apart.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
What do you think?
I think it will grow on me. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either.
It's just not like, wow.
No.
It looks amazing.
But here's the thing that I was pointing out to Jess. It's $10 t-shirts. And it's meant for the masses. I mean, the main point is the color, so you can wear the specified color and be right on TV. I like them better than last year. I didn't really like the kitschy Polynesian thing they had going on. They didn't put an apostrophe after the N again, so that bothers me.
I'm not a huge fan of the royal on the navy just because it doesn't show up as well.
Yeah, you can't see it.
So, but I really like the white shirt.
share your thoughts, because it seems that people are really quick to be critical of these. But you know what? We take it as it's one step closer to it being football season. So let's not look a gift horse in the mouth.
Okay, we'll try not to.
Notable quotable.
All right. I think that's all for Talk of the Town this week.
Yeah.
Right? So moving on. There is not even very many things left of the other sports. So first thing is that BYU softball was one of the first 4 teams to clinch a spot in the NCAA tournament.
They're number 20 going into the NCAA tournament. And it looks like they will play on Thursday at 4 p.m. at Ute Stadium up in Salt Lake, of all places. I know. Against Mississippi State. So it will definitely be more of a home game for them than it will for Mississippi State. And you can tune in to watch that on ESPN3 and support the WCC title-winning girls softball team.
They're very good. McKenna Bowl. And baseball's last home game is today. So
crazy.
I know, that went by really fast. 6 o'clock. It's against UVU on BYU TV, as always. And then they have an away series with Gonzaga next.
Yep, but the last time you can catch them at Miller Park is today. So there is a conflict of interest for our northern Utah fans.
Yes.
So our Utah County people, you go to the baseball game, and then our Salt Lake County people and Davis County people, you guys go to the Davis County Fan Fest. That is from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Legacy Event Center in Farmington. So there will be members of the football and basketball teams there. Go, get stuff signed, hang out with them. They're going to have concessions. They'll be selling those t-shirts. It'll be a great time. And then the last Fan Fest will be a couple weeks from now, June 3rd in Southern California. So we'll share more details once we get there. But we do want to talk to someone who went to one of these Fan Fests, do a Cougs and Correspondence. So let us know if you end up going
need to live
today.
Vicariously.
We are brought to you by the brand spanking new Tyler Law. Aww. We wanted to wish one of our co-hosts, Jess, congrats and best wishes in her new endeavor. So if you need some legal guidance, call her.
And our other sponsor, of course, is 23-19, which was not a football score or a halftime of a basketball game or anything. It was actually BYU baseball score. And that is a lot of runs.
It's huge.
It's a lot of baseball.
Tanner Mangum tweeted that if they needed an extra arm, because you're going through pitchers like crazy when the score is that, he said he was ready.
Oh boy. Well, luckily they pulled out that win. And of course we had to give a shout out to this very special rally cap that inspired them, I'm sure.
Baseball there is not anything like it. May you always stay loyal to the white and blue. For Jess, I'm Mary. We will see you next week.